Hello students, teachers, parents, history nerds. Hello everybody, and welcome to Nutshelled History, where we lay out the facts, the good, the bad, and the ugly. We continue with our Modern World History series by looking at the Cold War ends. Don't forget that there's a link for a fill-in-the-blank worksheet in the description. Feel free to use it. I just ask that you like and subscribe. I apologize for any mispronunciations ahead of time. I do my best. Okay, let's go. The Soviet Union emerged from World War II as a superpower with control over many Eastern European countries. For many people, the country's superpower's power status brought few rewards. Consumer goods were inferior and workers were poorly paid. Because workers had lifetime job security, there was little incentive to produce high-quality goods. Still, there were some important technological successes. One example was Sputnik 1, the first artificial satellite. Keeping up with the United States in an arms race also strained the economy. Then, in 1979, Soviet forces invaded Afghanistan and became involved in a long war. The Soviets had few successes battling the Mujahideen, or Muslim religious warriors, creating a crisis in morale in the USSR. New Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev urged reforms. He called for glasnost. He ended censorship and encouraged people to discuss the country's problems. Gorbachev also called for perestroika, or a restructuring of the government and economy. His policies, however, fed unrest across the Soviet Empire. Eastern Europeans demanded an end to Soviet rule. Previous attempts to defy the Soviets had failed. When Hungarians and Czechs challenged the communist rulers, military force subdued them. By the end of the 1980s, a powerful democracy movement was sweeping the region. In Poland, Lech Walesa led Solidarity, an independent, unlawful labor union demanding economic and political changes. When Gorbachev declared he would not interfere in Eastern European reforms, Solidarity was legalized. A year later, Walesa was elected president of Poland. Meanwhile, East German leaders resisted reform, and thousands of East Germans fled to the west. In Czechoslovakia, Václav Havel, a dissident writer, was elected president. One by one, communist governments fell. Most changes happened peacefully, but Romanian dictator Nicolae Ceausescu refused to step down, and he was executed. The Baltic states regained independence. By the end of 1991, the remaining Soviet republics had all formed independent nations. The Soviet Union ceased to exist after 69 years of communist rule. In 1992, Czechoslovakia was divided into Slovakia and the Czech Republic. Additionally, some communist governments in Asia, such as China, instituted economic reforms. Okay, let's recap. The Soviet Union emerged from World War II as a grumpy superpower, hoarding Eastern Europe like a kid with too many toys. But instead of cool stuff, citizens got shoddy goods and low pay. Basically, the IKEA of economies, minus the stylish designs. Sure, they launched Sputnik and flexed in the arms race, but by the time they invaded Afghanistan in 1979, they were stuck in a quagmire battling Mujahideen warriors, turning their morale into a sad puddle. Enter Mikhail Gorbachev, the reformer with a knack for buzzwords. Glasnost, let's talk about our mess, and perestroika, let's try fixing it. These changes lit a fire across Eastern Europe, sparking movements like Poland's Solidarity, led by Lech Walesa, who went from outlaw union leader to president. Communist regimes toppled like dominoes, peacefully in most cases, except for Romania, where Nicolae Ceausescu got a swift exit package. By 1991, the USSR collapsed faster than a poorly made Soviet chair, ending its 69-year experiment. Meanwhile, Czechoslovakia amicably split in two, and even China decided capitalism wasn't such a bad idea after all. There you have it, folks. That's the Cold War ends nutshelled. Thanks for stopping by, Nutshelled History. Now, don't be cold. Smash those like and subscribe buttons for me. See y'all next time on Nutshelled History.